She was clinically dead, but what she says she saw next will shock you.
It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And I believe I saw an angel, and I don't really know where I was, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't feel pain, but I couldn't feel happiness either. It was just the most amazing feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. And I wasn't scared, I wasn't happy, I was just amazed about everything in my entire life. And it was just so amazing. And
What you are about to hear is something that has left millions of people confused, emotional, and questioning reality itself. A young American girl claims that during a near-death situation, when her heart stopped and doctors were performing CPR, she experienced something beyond this world. She says she felt peace, saw light, and entered a place that felt like heaven. But the real question is not just what she saw. The real question is what Islam says about experiences like this, and whether these moments can truly be called a glimpse of the afterlife or something else entirely. In the clip, the girl describes that everything happened suddenly. She was in a critical condition, and during that moment, she felt disconnected from her physical body. She says there was no pain, no fear, only a deep sense of calmness. According to her, she felt like she was somewhere else, a place filled with comfort and light. Many people who hear stories like this immediately connect them to religion or miracles, thinking it is proof of heaven. But Islam teaches us to be very careful when it comes to explaining the unseen world, because not every experience during death or unconsciousness is a complete truth of the hereafter. In Islam, death is not the end of existence. It is a transition from this temporary world into the next stage of life. The Quran clearly says that every soul will taste death, meaning it is a reality that no human can escape. But what comes after death is part of the unseen knowledge that only Allah fully controls. When a person is in the final moments of life, the soul begins to separate from the body, and this process can feel different depending on the condition of the person. A peaceful person may experience calmness, while others may feel fear or confusion. However, Islam does not confirm that what a person sees in that moment is the final heaven or the final reality of the afterlife. Islam also teaches the concept of barzakh, which is the world between this life and the day of judgment. It is not this world, and it is not Jannah yet. It is a waiting stage where the soul experiences something according to its deeds, but it remains completely hidden from human understanding. The Prophet Muhammad explained that when a righteous person dies, angels come with peace and mercy, and the soul is taken gently. This is part of the unseen process, not something we can fully compare with dreams or medical experiences. So when someone describes seeing light or feeling peace during a near-death experience, Islam does not immediately label it as heaven itself. It may be a reflection of the transition, not the final destination. From a scientific point of view, near-death experiences are still not fully understood. Some doctors and researchers explain them as effects of oxygen deprivation in the brain or chemical reactions during extreme stress. Others suggest that the brain creates peaceful images to reduce fear during trauma. However, science still does not have a final answer. At the same time, Islam does not deny the existence of the soul. Islam clearly states that humans are not only physical bodies, there is a soul that belongs to the command of Allah, but Islam also separates physical experiences from the true reality of the unseen world. Just because something feels real does not always mean it is the final truth of what lies beyond death. In Islam, Jannah or heaven is a real and eternal place created by Allah. It is not temporary, and it is not something a person enters and returns from. The Quran describes it as a place where there is no pain, no sadness, no death, and no fear. It is beyond human imagination. Rivers, gardens, peace, and endless blessings are described in words we can understand, but the reality is far greater than anything we can imagine in this world. Allah says in the Quran that no soul knows what hidden joy has been prepared for them. This shows that Jannah is far beyond human experience and cannot be fully seen in moments like medical emergencies or clinical death experiences. So when we hear stories like this American girl describing peace and light, Islam does not reject her experience, but it also does not confirm it as a vision of heaven. It could be part of the dying process, a psychological experience, or a moment where the mind reacts to extreme conditions. Only Allah knows the full reality of what the soul experiences at that time. That is why Islam always brings us back to humility. We are not meant to claim knowledge of the unseen based on personal visions. Instead, we are meant to reflect on our own life and prepare for the moment when we will face death ourselves. The most important message in Islam is not what someone saw for a few seconds during a near-death moment. The real message is how we live before that moment arrives. Because every human being will experience death one day, and that reality is certain. Islam teaches that success is not in temporary experiences, but in living a life that leads to mercy, forgiveness, and eternal peace after death. Whether someone sees light, peace, or nothing at all during such moments, the final truth will only be revealed after the Day of Judgment, when every soul stands before Allah. So instead of getting lost in confusion about whether such experiences are heaven or not, Islam guides us to focus on something deeper. Life is short, death is certain, and what comes after it is forever. And the real question is not what someone else saw for a moment, but what we are preparing for our own final journey.